For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Dearest Dirk, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I left you a little something to remind you of me in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on the board, taking shifts because it was no way to get your rest. I'm sorry. Taking shifts because of it. There's really no way to get rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need so that you can come home with me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know that you'll get them covered with assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they have been washed. Before I forget, the Hankersons in the village have asked me to see if you will be coming by any trout. But I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oops. Okay. Dirty. Thing. Lifesaver. Life preserver. Right. Every day. Playboy posters. It's nice some things don't change no matter how far you are from home. Pretty odorous. I'm glad I'm getting out of here soon. They must eat, sleep, and do everything else in one room for weeks at a time. Ew. Anything up here? So do they seriously Playboy posters? Pillow. Sorry. That's a fish. That's a girl with a skateboard. That's a guy. What of a fisherman's wife? She's no Playboy bunny, but she looks loving and kind. Ooh, fish. Okay. Egg. Squid soup. Where's the key? Oh yeah, I have the key. Doggies. What a creepy. It's so creepy. Yes, I know I need some mistake. I know how to use batteries. Lamp. As I stepped off the boat, sang out into the blizzard that has formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I have been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my exterminate word soon after, and new hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for a shelter to get home. I didn't get up. So, oh, I forgot what I was doing. I forgot this little heart. Yes. I need a rock. Although, since it's a little hard, this no connection can kill me. Hey, pick up the rock. Get up. Not really. Run. Run, you idiot. Run, you idiot. The hell's wrong with my girls? Oh, those. Yep, think. Yep, trying to get me. Come on, please. Yes! Come on, get in. No, get in. Get in the thing. I don't want to die right in the first 5 minutes. Oh. Wait, let me try that again. Ugh. Doors are always my worst. Ow. piece in my head. I can't believe I survived a fall like that. Yeah, that's actually pretty. Well, that's survivable. People jumped off buildings and lived. I said I went on my way. I can't believe you didn't break through this. Barrels. Barrels. Oh, I can't pick it up. Box of ammunition. What is this place? Apparently the mines here were used for war. Hiccup. Flare. More flares. Pipe. I'm gonna need that later. Why? Don't worry, I'll find some rain relievers soon. Emergency exit procedure. I can't read it. It used to be a war thing after the mine. It was both a mining shaft and a war bunker. There. This. Merchants. Long past the sell by date. Sell by date. Spam. Gross, my grandfather still likes that stuff. Oh, this is spam. Spam. I like the little person on it. Dude, take one of these home so you can sell it to a museum. Oh, I've been bored for a long time. Yeah, I know. I'll put flares on the floor. Oh, yeah, oh, awesome. This just leads to the same place. Oh, right. See? Circle. How do I get a... Oh, right. Wait. There we go. Barrel. Why were you in the way of the door? Okay. Whatever I was descending into was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches, locked in a remote, artistic wilderness, and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel like something I haven't felt since I was a child. I never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there. If something goes wrong, part of the carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. Aw, I got bullied in school. Poor thing. Bottle. What is it? What? Oh, I didn't hear. ghosts mainly tell me to hide. What is it? I can't read it. Oh. Just shift it. Shift it. Shift it. Shift it. Shift it. Office. That's always the first place people go to. Alright. I think there's some painkillers in here. Backstrand. Ow. That's part of the commentary rules. 15th of August, 1945. Commander Bunker, Emergency Airstrip, Zulu. Weekly report. I'm sorry. Zulu. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regularly supplied shipments received, standard emergency drills carried out, routine runway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. Oh. The 1 wounded figure is no case of concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in the workshop in the armory, and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take particularly responsible for this, in that I allowed them to access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that where they learned the ingredients as a precautionary measure. I have now locked up the manual in the chest in my office and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that the more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but no matter, that would actually be kind of extreme. I mean, if he lost his fingers, dude. But the matter is out of my hand. The base is so disconnected sometimes I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requestion order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets. Not necessarily in my opinion, but producer states we should have a full complement. Bayonets. 1 industrial ice wait, 1? For removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. Why only 1? What happens if you lose it? You need to keep, like, at least 3, or 2 or 3. 1 pair of reading glasses. Category 7-C. An order for myself. My glasses are rather in a poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning the mine continues in progress. The structure of being fortified from the potential bomb damage in the excavation of previous cave-in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity, some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried beneath the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may even have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like a front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly illuminates from it. Chief NCO M Major. How do I? Alright. How'd that go, Major? Wait, what am I? Fairly basic trust. Paper. Oh, paper. Ah. Copenhagen Post, Monday, 17th August, 1930. Psychotropic deposit at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that the mine alternating chemicals naturally stew into the rocks may have been caused by high suicide rates in the Greenland mines. The university, which has recently been conducted studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the northern western lead mine last year. They discovered that evening, taking into account Greenland's natural high suicide rate. Really? Greenland has a high suicide rate? Local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high. Of 46 deaths per 100,000 populace. Holy cow. Compared to the natural average of 20. That's still high. Come on, people die more than I thought. On further investigations, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms of common with the early stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This is a prompt research to hypnothesis that naturally disposed the lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to the hallucinogenic properties may be presented in the rocks. A few locals were conducted in interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanations. Invite spirits known as turngates live in the mountains. The university was awaiting the result of the chemical testing studies. When you guys see the second episode, you'll understand why they're saying turngates. This is a picture of a British platoon. They must date back to World War II. I suppose this mine was converted in some kind of bunker. What gave it away? That? The book? Major's book? Oh, you can actually see it better this way. Map? Why don't you use this? I can't read that. Clark something. Stuff I can't read. I'm not touching you just yet. You're not gonna make me repeat the... No, wrong thing. Okay. I'm bad at this game. What? Is it? I'm confused. Push your chairs in. Ooh. Oh. Take this with you. You'll get a lot of money for it. Old things can have value, especially if they're working. You should remember that for antiques. If you ever have money problems, you can sell it. Wait, I miss being outside already. This place is turning to get to me, but even if I could reach the gate, expel to another annoying. If you're 100 feet down, how did? Oh, that was close. Huh. Dude, you're not 100 feet in the ground. Oh, wait, how's it sunny out if it's snowing? Ah, forget logic. Box. Later. More beef jerky. Is beef jerky good? Never eaten it. There. After I heal myself, by myself. This can be. Wait, the wounds were from cold. So you're... yeah, that makes sense. It's really... key. Oh, actually, one time when I was playing this game, there we go. I thought I picked up the book. Or... was it the book? Yeah, the book's the only thing in here. I thought I picked it up, but I didn't. And so some of the stuff apparently doesn't work if you don't pick it up. So, I was very lost for a long time, and I was hating myself when I figured out why it didn't work. Must resist this urge to break. Oh, it's gone. Break stuff. Where am I going? Yeah, wait. I just disordered myself. Where am I? Shit. I run to the dog, I'm just so mad. Get the door. Scared myself.